Hi, and thanks for stopping by and seeing what I'm up to today. And Kevin just did this 2 minutes ago, and I want to play this interview that was just done. I haven't heard it, so here we go.
Hey everyone, Kevin here. There's been a lot of talk about what's going to be in the next phase of stimulus, Phase 4, CARES Act number 2, and after doing so many videos on this particular topic, I think I finally have enough information gathered to where I want to make a prediction as to what I believe CARES Act 2 will look like, what it's going to cost, and what it's actually going to include. And then that way we can compare this prediction to what actually gets introduced on Monday and Tuesday, and then we can compare that to what ends up passing. This should be fun. Let's get into it. Now, after enough reading between the lines, I strongly believe, and this is my opinion, we're going to see another $2,000 stimulus check to an expanded group of people, this time including adult dependents and including college students who were claimed as dependents, because honestly, that was a bunch of BS the first time around. So, $2,000 for 1 month is going to be about $350 billion as part of this package. But I think there are going to be some provisions, some floater provisions that say as long as unemployment is above, say, 14% or 15%, something like that, we will continue to get these stimulus checks. And I believe it is going to be at least 3 months before we break out of that. So I personally believe we'd be able to expect 3 of these $2,000 checks. Okay, there we go. Now we've got 3 times $2,000 in our pocket. That's nice. This is exactly what the people need, and this aligns with what the Federal Reserve says is thinking big. This aligns with what Democrats wish, and this aligns with what the Republicans are going to do based on what I talked about in my video this morning. Now, obviously, I could be totally wrong, but this is my guess. I believe this is reasonable. 12 months, don't see it happening. 6 months, probably not. 3, reasonable. Now, another thing. Boom! We need money for state and local governments, only for the Rona. It has to have the definition that this is narrowed down to only paying for Rona related expenses. Otherwise, Republicans ain't going to be okay with it. And I think the last amount of money that was given is a joke. California went from a budget surplus to a deficit in a matter of a month because of this. Now, I know some of us have some very strong opinions of California, so we won't go into debating California, but we've got money for the Rona. Now, let's get some more money. We need more money, this time for a payroll tax holiday, because that's what Trump wants, and if Trump wants to see it, we need a little bit of give and take from all sides. We need some stimulus checks, we need some state and local government money, and we need a payroll tax holiday. That's going to be probably worth somewhere around $5,000 in costs and savings. That is, each worker might make $5,000 extra per year if we waive the payroll tax. Now, in case you're curious, I got to $5,000 in value or sort of extra stimulus per person by taking about 7.5% times an average wage of somewhere around $65,000, and that's how I get to $5,000. Multiplied by all of the at least about 150 million workers we've got, and it's going to cost somewhere around $750 billion. Now, I also believe we're going to see something for testing, tracing, and treatment. More money for testing, obviously, some kind of maybe grant program like the TRACE program, which basically allows grants for organizations and entities to hire people to conduct testing, to conduct tracing, contact tracing, right? Whether that's through apps or, phone calls, whatever it is. And, of course, money for treatment. We're going to peg that at $200 billion. All right, what else do we have? Then I believe that essential workers are going to get a pay incentive to either get back to work, stay at work, or make more money hourly. Some sort of combination of this for essential workers. Essential workers, again, about 28% of the country. I believe this benefit's going to be worth about $25,000 per essential worker. And then, of course, we need some money for the Postal Service. So let's slap these things in here. That's going to be about $630 billion and $50 billion. Geez, I love having Jerome Powell with a money printer because this is easy, folks. I could run the government all day long. Now, even after all the bailouts we've already given to the airlines, they're probably going to go bankrupt in about 6 months if we don't give them a little bit more funding. So let's go ahead and earmark a little bit more money. How about another $50 billion for the airlines? Now we need some targeted money for the EIDL 30-year small business loan program. A lot of these loans are finally getting processed. I think they're going to run out of money. They need some more money for the grant, that $3,000 extra.
They denied mine.
extra stimulus check for individual small business owners or people with a side hustle. We need extra $1,000 sets for that, and more money for the loan program, as well as let's throw in a little bit more money for the PPP. Demand for the PPP is kind of slowing down, but let's throw in some more money for the PPP, and let's also loosen that 8-week restriction that you have to sell or basically spend all of your money from the PPP within 8 weeks, because it's honestly a little ridiculous. Let's extend that to about 18 to 24 weeks. So as long as you spend that money from the PPP that you get for your small business within that time frame, the money will be forgivable. So all of that is going to cost some money on top of the demands that Republicans are going to have some liability protections built in for businesses opening back up. But you know what? Let's create a liability or litigation protection fund. So that way, if companies end up getting sued because somebody got the Rona from the business, maybe we have some kind of grant program to kind of make people go away. That might look like $100 billion for the EIDL, $200 billion for the litigation fund. Attorneys are expensive, and a couple hundred more billion for the PPP. This is going to leave us with a potential new think big package, just like Jerome Powell told us to do, especially since interest rates are cheap and soon they'll be negative, so why not keep borrowing? For a total package, in my opinion, of potentially as high as $4.23 trillion. Because remember, that's 4.2 thousand times a billion. It's a lot of money. But, hey, I think I've pretty much nailed everything that we're going to expect to see in this package. Now, the numbers exactly might be plus or minus. Are we really going to get 3 stimulus checks of $2,000? I think we're going to see a big push for it. No guarantees. I'm not trying to create false hope, but this is what I imagine a big package could look like that rivals the first one of 2.2 trillion. That first one was blown through. Now, do I think that this is going to be the final version? It might get negotiated down by Republicans. It might get negotiated or line item vetoed by Donald Trump. Who knows? But this covers everything. And if I was running the government, this is what I would do. And I'd get our country back to work by actually helping the people who need it most, small businesses and individuals, us consumers, rebuilding that confidence in our society, and then let's focus on the election in November when we're all back to work and hopefully our economy's up and running again. Obviously, it'd be nice to have a vaccine as well, so maybe I should have thrown some money in for the Rona vaccine. But you know what? I can't think of everything, so that'll have to be for Phase 5 stimulus. Well,
there you guys have it. What his guesses our stimulus will be. I do want to mention we have 108 active cases, and we've lost 23 people so far, and 238 have recovered. So still another 100 has an active case. It's just every day there's either 9 or 10. It's always a high number here. It really hasn't gone down. The deaths have slowed down a great deal because we were losing like 2 to 5 people a day at one point. And now we're just losing, not as many. It's terrible. This whole thing is terrible. And I hate being in such a small environment with the other people in the same, everyone goes to the same stores and everyone goes to, it's just, and not everybody is hand sanitizing. Not everyone is, it's just like, it's over, it's a lot. It's just a lot. And I have no one to tell but you guys. Thanks for stopping by. I can talk. Like, share, and subscribe. Today, I am getting into reborning, and I can't wait. My babies are on the way. Thanks for stopping by again. This is Silky signing off. Bye.